comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He'll come around when chimes ring, now it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Comes to all if you just follow. Give thanks to the Lord, 'cause Santa
Not you, them.
Merry Christmas from the Griswolds, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the Serious Gentlemen Gaming Podcast. Dom made the best intro video he's ever made in a long time.
We're super serious all the time.
No,
Yeah.
last week's was the best
Last
one.
week's was probably the best one.
This was
But
a close
this was
second.
a close second. Jinx. Anyway, we're here to talk about Rainbow Six Siege. I'm your host, John. With me is my good buddy, Dom.
How's it going?
And this fella down here, Mike. We're on the
Hi.
dots. So
your own buttons.
yeah, really. Anyway, we're here to talk about Rainbow Six. So this just came out like yesterday or today. I think it just came out today.
I think it came out
Yes.
today, yeah.
Technically today. So I honestly gonna be upfront. I'm not that familiar with the series, but I know Dom was super hyped for this game, and Mike, you used to play a lot of Rainbow Six. The Xbox 360. Which one? Which one did you play best?
I played the first, because there were like 8 Rainbow Six Threes with a whole bunch of like,
There's 8 Rainbow Six Threes.
no, I don't know. There was a lot of expansions and DLCs for that. But no, I played Rainbow Six 3 when it came out for the Xbox, like the original
Okay.
Xbox, and I got a lot of play value out of that, and I love the shit out of that game. But I just haven't picked up another title since. And I don't know why. Probably because I just haven't wanted to... I don't know. I haven't had anybody to play it with. Which is my issue with this one. If I had someone to play it with, I'd probably get it.
Yeah, I mean, you got that guy. He wants to do it. So Dom, why don't you tell us why you were so excited for this game?
Because I think everybody grew up as like, big fan of Counter-Strike and those early games like this, and this in a world where we're flooded with the first-person Call of Duty Battlefield shooters, this is a very big departure from that. This is not respawn spamming, throw grenades every chance you get. Like, this is tactical teamwork. This is not every man for themselves deathmatch. It's very goal orientated, and I don't know. I love the whole concept of it, because I'm sick of the typical first person shooters, like the GoldenEye formula. Like it's gone. Like it's been around since GoldenEye. It has not let up, and it's boring now, frankly.
Yeah. I mean, and I think a lot of first person shooters are kind of taking this route of starting to become more, well, unless you're Star Wars Battlefront. Had to get in one more. Unless you're Battlefront. But yeah, you kind of like the better, longer lasting games are like much more tactically oriented, much more team based.
Some of these games are really short though. Like I have not had a chance to pick this up yet. I will be picking this up, 100% picking this up.
Yeah.
But I've been watching streams all day long on Twitch, on my phone, everywhere I've been. Like I've just been, gotta watch more, whatever.
Yeah.
I saw a game last 20 seconds today. So, like, it's not necessarily, how it's how cooperative your team is. It's not necessarily the length of the game.
And
Right.
all the games I've seen, and note I haven't watched anything today, but all the shit I saw, previously in the past few months, from conferences and stuff, rounds lasting 4 minutes. 5 minutes if you include, like, the, preparation phase. Like, a round lasting 4 minutes, and then it switches sides, and it lasts another 4 minutes.
I mean, kind of like Counter-Strike, really. I mean, they're really...
Yeah, Counter-Strike's
quick,
pretty
like-
short, quick games, but, I mean, like, as far as the tactical thing, you could play a Call of Duty, you can play a Battlefield, whatever. You can get that one guy who goes in, jumping around, mows down 6 people because he is, the FPS god, throws a grenade, blows up 2 more people, plants the objective, and boom, he's a hero. 3,000 points, goes up how many levels. You can't do that in this game.
No.
If you run down a hallway, you jump around the corner, you're getting your head blown off.
More than likely. Because there's even like so you have the terrorist, counter-terrorist, you're like protecting a hostage, or retrieving a hostage, one of the two. And like the terrorist group, the one that's, in holding the hostage or whatever, has access to like little cameras and stuff where they can look around. They like hacked into the surveillance system of the building that they're in. They could look around and see where like the SWAT team is coming from. Like, so,
right.
And they can switch to different floors and stuff like that. So they have like some knowledge of that, but it's full screen. So like when they're enveloped in that mode, it's best not to have all of your team members doing that at once, because then you can't see anything going on.
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say.
You want to be like, hey, Mike, I'm going to go check the floors, cover me, kind of thing.
Or
okay.
You're planting the bomb diffuser, you got the briefcase on the ground. That's all you have. So unless an enemy walks by your peripheral vision and you see his foot step down, you're focused for about 5 seconds on a briefcase. You can't see shit around you. Yeah. So if you're the lone guy, the only teammate left, this is like a Hail Mary play right here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so really, that's, I guess, what makes it so reliant on teamwork then, is that you need your team to actually spot for you and like help you, and like you can be defenseless if you're working the objective.
Yep.
It's kind of what it comes down to. Okay.
Also,
go on. I was just going to say, and one of my favorite things too about this is another big problem in a lot of these shooter games is you get somebody who just like camps in one room, right? And in a game like this, where the objective isn't gone until the entire team is eliminated, because there's no respawn. So you die, you're done. It's 5v4, it's 3v4, it's 3v3. It just keeps the numbers keep moving down. So in a thing like this, where it's like eliminate the entire other team to win, where camping seems like, I'll just sit in this one room. I have no other way out of this room, so they have to come in to get me. I have the advantage because I have the jump on them, kind of thing. That's not necessarily the case in this game, because you can shoot holes in walls. You can blow walls up.
Yeah. You're not safe.
That's what I love about it, is there's no camping. You can't.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I was reading something before the show on it. They said they did a multi-layered terrain and texture system so that shooting a wall is going to put a bullet hole, it stays there. Hitting a wall, one guy's name is Sledge. He has a sledgehammer. He can use the sledgehammer to break holes and shit.
Yep.
And those
you can just hit the wall and you just have a sledgehammer-sized hole in the wall that you can peek through and just shoot. Like, are they in here? Nope. Okay. So you don't have to waste your time going in the whole room. It's just, I love that. I love that.
I mean,
and you could drop in through the ceiling.
You can drop in through the ceiling. You can rappel down the side of a building.
Oh my God.
You went on dropping the ceiling? I like it. I mean,
it's just like our intro. They're coming in through the windows,
I mean,
freeze, not you.
There was a good idea I saw earlier. It's put a breaching charge, or plant an explosive, a grenade, breaching charge, something on one side of the building, blow it up, and right as the explosion goes off, have the other 4 members of your team storm in from the other end. So what's going to happen? You're defending an area. You hear an explosion. You're going to look that way. I mean, that's your pretty much initial reflex. So if you look that way and the guys charge in from, your right or behind you, you're kind of fucked. Do something like that, which plays into the coordination, teamwork sort of thing, and why I'm glad it's only 5v5.
Right. And you're allowed to plan this stuff before the match even starts, right? You get like a little bit of time to kind of figure out what the team's going to do and everything.
So if you're like the terrorist group, you can go in and you can like put up a wall of like... an
armored wall.
Yeah, like an armored kind of wall. You could throw down barbed wire, different things like that. So it's just like a lot of I don't want to like relate it to booby traps, because it's definitely not like Home Alone or anything. But it's you can set traps down to like defenses, barriers and stuff.
Trip mines and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I saw mention that like the like the offensive team could like send a drone in to like kind of scope out.
They all get these little drones on 2 wheels that go. Wee! They're only about 6 inches off the ground, so they can get under. A lot of barricades have space under them for
Right.
that balance reason. The drones can get under them, and I'm watching. You find the bombs, you mark them for your team if you even find them. You could see your enemies, what they're doing, what they're setting up, and all that. And, conversely, if they see your drone, they can shoot it and destroy it, removing your little advantage in that mode. So, it's kind of, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it gives you... It's realistic.
The prep phase is probably the best, part of it for me.
Right, because that's like the... I mean, but that's really what would happen. It's not like Counter-Strike, where it's like, pick up guns and run into desert,
Yeah, exactly.
You would really... Like, a SWAT team would be planning this stuff out, Like, they would be sitting down like, okay, they're in here, we need to go around this way, blah, 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 blow up that wall, and So
the terrorists are going to have time to prepare for it, because nobody's going to go in and like kidnap a hostage, hold them ransom, and then be like, oh, let's not plan for the FBI to show up. Like, what? You're not doing a good job if you I don't want to give hostages like any ideas out there, like real hostages, but you're not doing a good job if that's your plan.
No.
So preparing some kind of defenses is it's pretty realistic in that regard, and
wait. Hostage takers.
I
had to correct that.
Yeah.
Not giving any ideas to any, hostages.
Any
Yes, because the
prospective
hostages are going to set up the defenses to keep the FBI out.
Well, it's like Princess Peach. Like, gosh, I should get kidnapped today.
Hey, Princess Peach is the one arming the castles with the the fire ropes and the Goombas and the cannons.
I'm pretty sure that Princess Peach is like calling Bowser up and being like, "Look, I've been locked in my castle all day.
On board. Kidnap
Get me out and let's go have some fun." That's what she's doing. So she's not a real hostage. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so on topic.
Anyway, so the maps themselves, they're pretty like, I'm imagining like you're in like a lot of houses, hotels, and like so I'm assuming pretty cramped quarters, all things considered.
Some of them are open though. Like there's cramped quarters like a plane. Like one of the maps is a plane.
God.
Yeah,
That's
so
insane.
It's gonna be fantastic.
You start off in a plane. It's a I don't know the size of the plane, whatever.
Some large jumbo jet.
It is a large plane, and it's kind of almost like, I want to say like Air Force One, like it's depicted in the movie there. It's like that size of a plane.
I was going to say, you're not going to, have a shooter game on a DC-10 or anything tiny like that. It's
Exactly.
That's going to be one boring map.
It would be an extremely boring map. No, but and I watched somebody today. They put up so the terrorists can build like doors, like blockades on the doors. And I watched one of the the SWAT team members go in, and they put a charge on the door and then walked around the wall to blow it. But when they walked around, they were on the other side of the room that they put the door up, so like it was a false door. And he goes, what? I laughed really hard because I was like, that's something I would build, in the terrorist, just like put this door here to make you think you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
And as soon as I hear it blow, that's when I'm gonna, jump
walk
out
in and it's
attack
like
you.
There's nothing there.
Happy birthday, ladies.
But then there's other there's like a farm compound, there's like a bank, so there's definitely some more open areas in the game. I believe there's 11 maps in total right now. Each, and this is what I really like about it, each has a daytime and nighttime cycle.
Oh,
that's different.
Neat.
Yeah, so it's kind of like 22 different maps, but not really, like.
And as far as map size go, because I'm thinking back, the last Rainbow Six I played had a decent number of larger maps. Like one was a couple of, it was one like alley or street, but it, was the length of a couple city blocks with a bunch of different buildings to duck inside and out of. You'd go through the lobby of a building up to a second floor office, out the window onto another section of the street, and it continued on like that. So,
yeah, there's some maps.
Dom would know this.
There's some maps I saw. I don't know the name of the map in particular, but it was taking place on a rooftop. And there was a couple different like buildings that they were going into. So they searched one building and they're like, okay, they're not in there, and they moved their way down and went to another one. They're like, okay, they're not in here. They went to a third one. They're like, okay, here's the bomb. We got to defuse this, and they're all holed up inside that room. So, there's definitely strategies. There's stuff you could do with that where, like, you could hide somebody in one of the false, rooms, and when it's clear, when they go in and look and be like, okay, nobody's there. Like, if you're hiding like in a corner somewhere, one guy, it's probably a little easier to overlook. As soon as they leave, you now have this whole side of the building for sniper advantage. So, there's different strategies and stuff you can do with that. You don't have to keep your 5 team members all clumped up in one tiny area. You can spread out to kind of falsify the location as well.
Right, and I figure it wouldn't be very advantageous to just cluster up, and you each kind of gotta.
That's kind of what I've been seeing people do right now, though, and I feel like that's the wrong way to go about it.
It just seems wrong, doesn't it? Like, I don't know. I mean, so obviously, like, this is a class-based game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming different classes are going to want to go and do different things regardless, right? Like, the defensive. Well, what are the classes? Let's start with that.
They said there were 10, right? I don't know all.
Yeah, there's a lot from what I gather.
There's 10 different guys per team, and I don't know what the hell all of them are. I know, like, each character's got like his own background story. Like, there's I don't know how to pronounce his name. Montagny, I would assume. He's got a nice. He's got a big hefty shield. That he can have extra cover on and stuff like that. So like it's like, I don't know, there's different roles too. Like you have GIGN, you have the FBI SWAT team, GSG9, SAS, and Spetsnaz, German, SPETSNAZ, I think it is.
Russian?
They're Russian.
Oh, Russian.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, like one that they're mentioning is Twitch. He's like the surveillance guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the drone that can like deliver little electric shocks, disable traps, and stuff like that. So sorry.
Handy.
Yeah.
So, I guess you're not really a class. You're kind of playing as like a character at that point.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Blizzard has recently set up with Overwatch, where you have a specific character who has different roles. Like you have Bastion, who's a turret, drivable turret, whatever, robot moves around. Where nobody's referring to, I'm going to play the turret character. Everybody's, I'm going to play Bastion. So in this game, it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to refer to the characters by name.
Yeah.
More than the role. Like I'm going to play the shield guy. No, you're going to play Montagny.
Or so they hope. I think that's what they were going for.
Right. So it looks like they broke them up into like attackers and defenders as far as like what the classes are. So I guess are you limited to them based on what like role you're playing, or can you play as all of them regardless?
You can customize and have like a different array of weapons and stuff. Like you unlock, more slots and stuff. Like I was looking, like certain people had the defenders aspect. Guy was complaining that he wasn't able to put like some of the good things down at first. He had to level up a little bit. So there's a bit of a leveling system in regard to that. But I feel like as you get to the higher level, you'll have more customization options to break the stereotypical role, but I still think you'll have your own function. Like you said, Twitch has got the drone and stuff like that. Like he's always gonna have the drone. I don't think Twitch is gonna walk around with a shield.
I was gonna say, that would make no sense.
Yeah.
But so they're mentioning Sledge, who's the guy with the sledge. So I guess he's the guy who's like busting walls down and sorts of crap.
There was one example. Small window boarded up with plywood or whatever. He smashed it a couple times, broke it down, and then I think like 3 of them give or take, vaulted through the window, and they made their own entrance to the building. So I think he's for taking out minor obstacles. I don't think he's going to sledgehammer down an entire brick wall.
Yeah, I mean there are there's currently 20 operators. They refer to them as operators in the game. 10 per side, but there's 8 more planned through updates added. I believe 2 per wave. There's going to be 4 separate updates, and here's the kicker: all the updates are free. Free. You don't have to pay for the DLC. This is free content.
That's another thing game companies have been doing, lately.
Yep, and maps as well. 2 maps are going to be added per thing, adding 8 additional maps as well. There's 11 maps in the game currently.
Okay.
So,
see, 11. 11's a good number.
11 and then
11's
day-night
a good
cycle,
number.
so it still feels different.
Technically,
still feels like 22 maps, even though it's only 11.
I mean,
and I like that.
The tactics must change in day or night. I mean, you have to adapt to the environment in some way, I would imagine. So
yeah, like you'll be able to see shadows, obviously, in stuff in the daytime. Nighttime, not so much. You can shoot lights out and stuff in the building, and that'll affect things. So
right. So I guess besides that, so going with that idea, like they're giving away free shit, but that's kind of how it should be. Like I wish that was the norm with games. Like it's just the right thing to do because and they went above and beyond. They're giving you full maps and everything, which is incredible. But The Witcher at least gave you costumes and extra, character, all alternate costumes for characters. They give you new quests and stuff like that, and armor sets and little things. But that's kind of nice. You just pay money and get everything once. Like that used to be how games worked. And there hasn't
never
been a lot
really.
of that.
When games and stuff like you look at GoldenEye back in the day, there was no updating for that. There's no additional maps. There was you get the Game Shark and you can unlock Statue Park and Cradle and stuff in multiplayer, and you were like, oh my god, new maps, but they weren't really, it's still stuff that was on the cartridge at the time. But
yeah,
I mean, if you played PC games, the older ones, you'd get updates. So a good portion of them would do updates to fix things that were utterly broken.
Yeah,
glitches and balance issues and stuff like that. But you'd get expansion packs. So
yeah, that were a good chunk of content.
They were their own. They weren't a full game, but they were 2/3 of a full game. Just
I personally
on there.
I like having a decent amount of maps. 11 is a great number. It gives a lot of variety, and everything like that, because you're gonna have a nice array of small maps. You're gonna have a nice array of large maps, and I'm gonna assume that you're gonna get one of each in each of the updates. One small map, one large map. But I like the fact that you trickle out new maps. Having all the maps at once, it gets boring after a while. But this way, you trickle them out, and you're just like, oh, new content. All right. So if you stop playing for a little while, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna play again. Start checking the maps out, and then you're like, oh wow, this game is really fun. Why did I stop playing it?
Right. Yeah. And it'll, because I guess if they release them all at once, you'd probably have to learn a lot of maps really quickly, and that wouldn't be very noob friendly, to say the least. Because trying to learn 8 new maps after you're used to 11 old maps would be a lot. Because that's really what it comes down to. Is once the game just came out, people haven't really established the meta yet. So the people are going to start to figure out the best tactics for each map in each position that you're in. So you have to. I think that's why it's better, like you said, let him come in slowly, because then the meta will. Okay, well, there's this new map. So what's the meta game going to look like on this one? And what are we? You can kind of let it sort of develop in a natural way. So just here, 8 more. Have fun, fuckers.
In chat we have Sofa Bro. He says, "I love Rainbow Six Siege, but the amount of bugs is not what you should see in a release." I personally
have you
haven't
played
noticed
Assassin's Creed?
I haven't noticed a lot of people complaining about some, bugs. There were a couple people that couldn't hit like 60 frames a second, right? And to me, that's not be all end all of
That's
glitches.
unacceptable.
There's some workarounds and stuff that you could do already. Like there's some patching that took place. There's some stuff you can do by moving the files around in the Steam. You copy the Steam folder,
Yeah, but
and delete like a folder out of it, and it like re-downloads something, and it fixes a lot of the issues.
Yeah.
So
it's not something you should have to do.
I agree with that.
It's something they should have caught.
No.
Especially if they had a beta, it's something they should have caught.
They did have a beta.
Yeah, I know. They did have a beta. It's something they should have caught. But I mean, if a lot of people are having the same issue, like if, you mentioned frame rate, not having 60 frames per second, it's not the end of the world, but it's something you would like, especially if your machine's capable.
At the same time, it's a reflex-based shooter, and if you're not running at 60, you're going to be worse than someone who is.
If it makes...
Yeah.
All right, I gotcha.
You know what I mean?
If it's choppy or other stuff like that, or if there's some other game-breaking,
The biggest one that I've noticed, if somebody connects with a abysmal connection, it will lag every player out in the loading screen, and they will not be able to load into the match until that player leaves.
Ew.
So that's pretty groundbreaking. That's the biggest one I've noticed. But in all the streaming that I've witnessed today, and I've watched quite a bit of it, it only happened twice. So
not a rampant problem.
No.
But when it does happen, it's going to piss you off quite well.
Yeah, because I did a lot of watching where people were playing on a full team of 5, and they're like, well, we know it's not us, so it's somebody on the other team. Somebody on that team would leave, and then all of a sudden, everybody would jump into the match, and it would be 5-on-4, so.
Okay. I guess, what was the point of the beta if you didn't... I guess it was really for stress testing.
Right.
Or something.
Or to make sure the game, was...
Runs
is mostly playable.
The game is definitely in a playable state.
Yeah. I mean...
So it is not...
A little bit.
It is not Arkham Knight.
Yeah. All right. We went there. Yeah.
All right.
Did you ever go back for that game, John?
Yep.
You gave up
on
it?
Tom, it's still broken. I'm not kidding.
And that's a shame because that was a great series, and
I love Batman.
That actually upset me a lot.
It's still broken. But all right, so regardless, maybe don't buy it today. Let it get patched if you really want to be sure.
I mean, me honestly, I'm going to wait for a sale. So, going to wait for a sale before I get it. Probably not going to pay the full price unless, all of a sudden, there's, 4 other people I know who are like, yeah, we're just getting Rainbow Six Siege for the PC. We're all going to play it, constantly, nonstop. Then maybe I would consider full price. But
I mean, I guess what it comes down to is, if you don't have, if people are having trouble with frame rate and running it, if you don't have, a super top-end machine, that could be a bit of concern, I would imagine. So, I would really do your homework, to say the least. So, I don't know. But, I mean, honestly, if people on stream are having no trouble and they're streaming the damn game while playing it online, I mean, it can't be all that bad, right? I would imagine.
And I mean, I've watched across all the consoles today, so everybody is playing it. It's going for everyone.
Yeah, so it's not like a busted piece of mess, but
it is not Arkham Knight.
No, it runs, for example.
Now, none of you guys got a chance to play it in beta, right?
I haven't. No, I didn't play it in beta. I heard about it in March or April.
Well, we it was one of the games that we all looked at when we covered E3, and it was in the trailer. It was one of the big releases for E3, and all 3 of us were like, "Wow, that game looks amazing."
Mm-hmm.
All right, so SofaBro says most of the bugs seem to be server-sided, netcode related, and connectivity problems.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, I mean, even if you have a multiplayer beta, you're not gonna. you should catch all of that, but let's be realistic here. You're not going to catch every single little bug
No.
due to the multitudes of machines out there, the multitudes of internets, the way they interconnect with each other, how they interact, and how, you got 9 other people joining your connection. Like, something's going to go wrong. An I's not going to get dotted, a T's not going to get crossed, a zero is going to
I remember somewhere up in chat. It was up early in the show, so I don't think it's still there. Somebody was saying, "Oh, I never really got into Rainbow Six. It wasn't until this game that it was a big deal," and that's kind of part of it too. Is they haven't been in the forefront, running up against Call of Duty and Battlefront and Battlefield, whatever. They're kind of jumping into this game newish. Like they haven't been up in like the big leagues, I should say. That's probably the best way to put it. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because this is kind of it's definitely not their first game. It's not their first big run-in title.
Yeah.
But it's their first big game.
Well, why do you think that is though? Like, what is different now? Like, why at E3 and everyone just like, oh god, Rainbow Six?
Maybe because they went with the whole destructibility, thing that they're really pushing the destructibility aspect of this. And I remember reading that this was a continuation of a canceled Rainbow Six game. I think it was called Patriots. Rainbow Six Patriots.
Okay.
It was canceled, and then they took some ideas from that and made this one. My favorite Battlefield was Bad Company 2. And that was one where you can blow the walls out of buildings. You can bring the buildings down entirely. That was, I'm not sure if it was the first Battlefield to do that, but it was one of the first to do it well with destructible buildings. Hell, there was one map where there's like 6 buildings in a row. You can destroy all of them. And that was the favorite thing we would do. We would go plant anti-tank mines and a couple C4 charges in a building and run outside and chuck a grenade through the window.
And just let the chips
Hey,
fall
look,
where they may.
there's 6 enemies camping on the 2nd floor. You sneak in, drop a couple anti-tank mines, and blow them up. The whole building comes down, you got 6 kills.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. And they can't camp up there anymore. Looky there.
It's funny because like even this game won like so many awards just during its presentations. So like it was best of show, best of, rated best PC game, and like all these crazy critic awards from like before it even came out. So like I don't know, I guess really it just struck a chord.
I want to be hopeful and sit down and think that game companies are actually listening to feedback, looking at the train wrecks that some studios, themselves included, have released in the past, and have actually sat down and wanted to craft a quality experience that they could actually charge $60 for. That's the going rate for games now. Charge $60 for, and not get a giant catapult of shit flung at them for.
Yeah.
I want to think that. I would love to think that. But then there's that, cynical part of me that's like, nah, it's a fluke. They just made a good game. It's never going to happen again. Enjoy it while it lasts.
We have another Tom Clancy game coming out later next year.
There's way too many of them.
Right? That is the one that I'm looking forward more than anything.
Which one?
The Division.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well... I mean...
See, that's one of those... They've announced a number of games the past couple of years where it's like, we're setting ourselves all of these goals. Ambitious. Pull them all off and you will have Game of the Year quality. Like, the 2 big ones, like, the next EverQuest game and Star Citizen. They have set themselves a long list of really, really difficult to hit goals. But if they hit all of them, they're going to be the best game in their genre ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, EverQuest will... If they hit all of their goals they set it, I think it was E3 2 years ago. If they hit all of them, it'll be the best MMO ever made. They probably won't. And if Star Citizen hits all their goals, it'll be the best space game ever made. It'll probably beat out Eve. Which they will probably fall short somewhere. But I'm saying, everything they've listed, it's like, want, really, really want, but cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
This game almost seems like it came out of nowhere, right? Because we didn't hear about it until
Yeah,
E3. It was already in a very well done alpha build. I wouldn't be surprised
Which I
if not
like.
much has changed since then,
I mean,
to be honest.
look at Fallout. They announced Fallout 4. It released what, 6 months later,
yeah,
eight
Yeah.
months later, something like that. You
I
didn't.
mean,
It's like,
obviously they've been working on it for a while, but
oh, duh.
this almost
But
feels like the answer to the Division being pushed back several times. Um, because otherwise the original release date for the Division was like now. So
yes, it
I feel
was.
like these two games would have overlapped each other, and that doesn't seem good.
no,
I
no,
mean,
they want to let them breathe.
I like the release the game when it's ready kind of doctrine.
Yeah.
I mean, Blizzard Entertainment has gone. I mean, you can argue that they're not going with it lately, but they've gone with that for most of their, company's lifetime, and it's, paid off in the end.
Yeah.
It's ready when it's ready.
I'd
And
rather have a polished product than a half-assed product.
I would rather wait an extra 6 months to a year for a polished product than, a buggy, not fun piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, apparently, I have to make you sad. There are microtransactions in this game. And sweeping.
Yeah.
Microtransactions don't bother me. It's when they're
all right, so
everywhere.
They're to speed up progression, apparently.
Mhm.
And there apparently is also going to be a season pass for this game. So the maps are coming out for free, but
Oh, the characters aren't?
the characters aren't, and
Okay.
neither are the. And you'll get like weapon skins, which who cares about that?
I mean,
But if you
God.
do get the season pass, you get early access to the DLC operators. I don't love that, really. Because you will have an advantage over other players for a short time.
my gripe,
That's-
Mhm.
my gripe with microtransactions is when it's A, pay to win, or pay for an advantage. You might not necessarily win, but you'll have something someone else doesn't. When it's pay to win, and when something non-cosmetic is locked. So, I mean, I guess you could say pay to win falls into that category. But as long as it speeds up what you can already get by just playing the game, or gives you something nice and cosmetic, then I'm fine with them. Have as many microtransactions as you want.
Sure.
Yeah, if you want to just be able to level up faster than somebody else, that's fine. Because if you're somebody that comes in casually, right? If you don't play the game a lot and you want a way to keep up with your friends, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good microtransaction to me. That's a good one. But if it's just like you buy this and you get a weapon that no one else can get unless they pay $5.99 for this weapon, and it's better than every weapon in the game and ever will be in the game, and you win just by having
Well,
it
that's
because
what
people die by
Payday
looking
2
at it
did,
because it's
so-
the Medusa gun. I don't know.
Right, whatever. But okay. Oh, sorry. So Sofa Bro's correcting us in chat. Thank you. So apparently the characters are still free. Just get them earlier with the season pass. So okay,
Oh, okay.
first averted.
All right, I can live
Still
with
a
that.
little. All right, 2 weeks isn't the worst thing in the world,
No,
but
I can live with
it's
that. That's all right.
Ubisoft's thing where they'll put a grind in the game and then like kind of give you ways to get around the grind, like they did it in with like Assassin's Creed 4. They did it with
Yeah.
the pirate ship. Like you could buy materials with real money if you don't want to farm them. Which, all right, that's fine. I mean, no one who bought that seriously. I mean, you have to be
Yeah.
pretty
I don't
honest.
know. I'm weird when it comes to that stuff. Like, I don't mind this the way they're doing it because it's not like you unlock the character. It's not like you have to do a bunch of stuff to unlock these characters. Like, if you have the season pass, you get them 2 weeks early. If you don't, you get them when everybody else does. You don't have to go on this big, have a 25 player kill streak, whatever to unlock this particular thing. It's nothing like that. And but when games do it, like the best example I can come up with right now is the new Pokken game, Pokken Tournament coming out for
Yeah.
Wii U.
Yeah.
Is like the be all end all thing in this game is to unlock on this major crazy quest that you go on. You unlock Shadow Mewtwo, right? That's like the be all end all of the game. But if you pre-order the game, you get an amiibo card of Shadow Mewtwo that you can just unlock him just for pre-ordering.
hmm
That's the
cheesy.
kind of stuff that bothers me is when games do that.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
everybody that pre-orders gets the hardest to get thing, and then everybody else who missed it even by a day has to play through and get it the hard way.
Yeah, I mean
You know,
that's
so
that's
at least
really
there's
fun.
none of that in here. You know,
Right. All right, yeah. So not bad, all things considered.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, I don't know. Was there anything else that we kind of missed that we should really hit on before we go to our illustrious video question?
I feel really bad that I haven't played this game yet. Like,
you should. Like, all you had to do was sign up on a
Yes,
page on IGN during the time it was announced, and you got into beta a month later. That's it.
I thought I did sign up for that.
Well, then you didn't check your email.
I probably did it, and it's my own fault.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was an open beta, right? Or was
Pretty
it-
much. Anybody who signed up got in. That's what I consider open beta.
No,
Oh,
I'll just
so-
gonna sit here and feel bad about myself then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there is a large array of weapons. That's really the only thing we didn't get into. You know, the nitty gritty of.
I have-
that's right.
I
Yeah.
have to ask this. She didn't ask me this, but I do have to ask this for my wife. Is the M60 a usable weapon in this game?
Um,
Was it the M60?
I don't see it on the list.
She will never play this game.
That's
There's
really specific.
yeah, that is really
like-
specific.
Viciously
I think it was the M60.
specific.
I don't know. It's a common machine gun that actually does exist. And in one of the older Rainbow Six games, if you... I forgot how it worked because I didn't play this one, but if you were careful with it, you could use it as a sniper rifle. Even though it was a machine gun. You would just fire one shot of it, and it was so powerful that a high body shot or a headshot would just take somebody
See,
down.
they don't have just regular machine guns. They have submachine guns, they have light machine guns, and they have assault rifles. So it may be something that exists on an assault rifle.
All right, I could be wrong about the M60 or whatever, but that's... Could even be wrong about the game, actually.
It might be. I don't know.
Yep, it was the M60. Okay, there we go.
Oh, well,
Thank
hey,
you, honey. Hmm.
Yeah, but there's also shotguns. There's pistols. You know, you get your frag grenades, your smoke grenades, stun grenades, the breaching charges, little nitro cells. You can put down a deployable like a shield. You
Yeah.
know, like that's really cool. Like I mentioned before, the barbed wire, and you get a ballistic shield as like equipment and stuff you can use. You can
Yeah.
drop body armor and different things like that. So.
All right,
Okay,
so if you want, on to the question.
I guess so.
Mhm.
Yeah, guess so. So, as always, serious. Blah, 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 blah. Take a break with Jake. That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. I just gotta make sure it's gonna work.
Yeah, do that.
Salutations, serious gentlemen gaming. This is I, Jake Nader, and I have a question to you guys. So, Rainbow Six Siege something. I tried to look it up. It looks a lot like Counter-Strike with destructible things. So, don't hate me. I don't really have a good question, but it's like you can pick between different parts of a team if you want to be an operator or not, or which role you will have in taking over the terrorist or the counter-terrorist or whatever it is. So my question for you guys is, like, which one do you think is the most interesting one that you would like to try out? Checking it out. Just kidding. I fall. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Yakubes2 right here, so you can see these videos before they air. Checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
We don't hate... Yeah, we don't hate you, Jake. Don't worry.
No.
Not everybody has played Rainbow Six. It's been a long time for me.
I haven't.
He's never played one.
I'm hosting a goddamn show about it, and I haven't played it. Figure that shit out. So Jake was asking what...
But you will be playing The Division, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
So that makes up for everything.
Okay. So, so what class, character, well, I guess really character are you guys most excited to try out? What's your favorite?
Operator.
I think.
What operator?
Favorite operator? Mine would probably be Smoke. Smoke likes to plant like a lot of traps and stuff like that. So you could plant like a nitro cell and a gas grenade, like a remote gas grenade, I should say. And you'd be able to detonate them individually. So I really like, because he reminds me a lot of Smoke from Mortal Kombat, obviously, just the name alone.
Yeah.
And name alone.
Yeah, and it's just, he seems... I like the whole booby trap aspect, because if you're in a terrorist situation, you don't want to go running in guns blazing. You're gonna die.
Very true. And
you set up a bunch of traps. When people arm your traps, you know they're close by. You can shoot the wall next to the door you just planted it at and kill them.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool.
See, booby traps I like. I'd like to be, the guy who blasts a hole through the wall, and then walks
Sledge.
No, see, Sledge whacks a hole in the wall with a sledgehammer. I want to be the guy who sets an explosive, completely blows a wall out, and then walks in the side entrance. Like a completely different door.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. I would not be very good at this game as much as I would love to play it, because I'm the whimsical kind of guy. I'm the bring the building down sort of mentality. Oh, the hostages are on the second floor.
So
let's bring the second floor to us.
Let's bring the Oh wait, they're on the second floor. We're on the first floor. Bring the second floor to the first floor.
Right. I mean, that sounds like Thermite, though, doesn't it? Like he's kind of the guy who burns through walls and shit like that.
Yeah.
So maybe he would suit your fancy.
Maybe he would suit my fancy.
Even though I don't know much about the game, Pulse sounds really fun because he can see through walls and hear opponents' heartbeats and stuff and try to figure out where they are.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I mean, that just sounds creepy and fun, and I kind of want to be like the stalker crazy guy who just, I can hear you breathing.
Sofa Bro just made my night. He says that tactic works, can confirm. Also said that the smoke canisters don't make sounds like the C4 booby traps.
That is correct. However, this is the problem that I would have with playing as Smoke. The canisters, you're immune to them, but your teammates aren't.
Oh.
More for the communication and tactics and, plan your
I would
shit.
be gassing my whole team by accident.
Of course you would be. No, you'd be gassing them on.
By accident.
Yeah. Total accident. So, with that knowledge, Mike,
what?
That you can just, bring the floor down with you.
Doing it.
Have we sold you? Have you sold a copy yet?
I got to see.
Close. I'm gonna tell you, it's close. He's thinking about it.
It's getting there. I think it's getting there.
Okay, there's a little. I guess you can picture a gauge, that goes to hell no to fuck yes, and the gauge judges whether I will spend $60 on something, and depending on how high it gets, maybe get it on sale, maybe down the road. Will I scrounge up $60, or I don't give a shit, I'm getting it now? We're at the scrounge up $60 level. It's hovering, but the thing that's killing me is I need people to play it with.
Well, I believe your wife wants a copy.
My wife wants a copy, which will give me somebody to play with, but also that means we now have to buy 2 copies if we want to play together.
So now you're scrounging up $120.
Now I'm scrounging up $120, which makes me lean more toward the on sale option.
I will be picking up a copy probably right after Christmas when I get some Christmas money to splurge with.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah. That is currently my plan, is right after the holidays Because,
Or get it from a key site that Sofa Bro says. Yeah, could do that.
yeah.
Well, either way, I think I might
Yeah.
even get it when it goes on sale. Hell, sounds like fun.
Like, if I don't care if I suck
That's
at the
four.
game,
That's 4 right now, Mike. We only need one more.
Really, one more.
I'll pug it for a 5th person. I mean, I don't care. I'm going to suck at this game initially, and I'm going to try whimsical strategies that probably won't work. But, I'm all for it in the end. As long as I have people to play this with.
I am going to say the one
seems like-
downside to this game, and it's kind of all shooters in general right now. There's no single player.
Well,
no single player campaign.
I said this last week for Battlefront, and I'm hoping that, this game, makes me happy in this regard. As long as the multiplayer experience is polished, a quality experience, and I have so much fun that I don't give a crap that there's no single player, then I'm fine with it.
The way I look at it,
Yeah.
though, is yes, I enjoy the single player, but I only play through it once. I've never played through, single player more than once on a first-person shooter like that, with the exception of GoldenEye. I don't know why, but I constantly go back. Even I'd like to say even now, but if I hooked up my N64 and popped GoldenEye in, I can't find my cartridge right now. But if I knew where my GoldenEye cartridge was, I'll tell you right now, I'd play that game start to finish.
Mine's 15 feet in that direction on a shelf.
So
there you go. So, I mean, like you said, do we... Because, all right, to be fair, we did give Battlefront a lot of shit for not having a single player, but we had a legacy of Battlefront games that had a good single player, so I feel like the point kind of stands, and also the fact that the game isn't good. Okay, fine, but like you buy Counter-Strike and it's not a single player game. You buy it to play online. You buy TF2 to play online. Like you're going to buy Overwatch to play online. So this is a game you're going in with that purpose.
knowledge, yeah.
So yeah, I think that's okay. And really, it's a team-based shooting game. Like, do you really want AI on your team for this kind of shit? No.
Not for this game.
I'm gonna say the Call of Duty franchise, for me, the highlight of playing them are the single player campaigns. Like I'd rather play through the story mode in Call of Duty than actually play online.
The single player and the 2-player co-op missions are pretty decent. Like that
was my favorite thing in not Modern Warfare, it was Black Ops, right? The first Black Ops or the second Black Ops, where they had the 2-player special ops missions.
Modern Warfare 2 had them.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the first one that put them in, I think.
Okay.
I remember
thought it was Black Ops.
No, I remember playing them with my cousin because he got it. I was down there for a Christmas or a birthday or something like that. We disappeared for, how many hours and played, those special ops missions. And, I mean, there was one where you're a guy on the ground running through the jungle surrounded by enemies and the other guy's in an AC-130 with, night vision and he's your cover. So I'm like, I can't see shit. Suddenly, the night's lighting up and the bodies flying everywhere and crap like that. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, no, because I played all those special ops missions too on with my buddy Chris, and we would get on Skype and just be like, all right, well, I'm going this way, you go that. It's just a lot of coordination. I like that, and this is definitely a game you'd have to coordinate on. So
yeah.
I'm not sure if there's built-in chat. That's the one thing I don't know if the game has, but if not,
there would need to for a game like this. If there was not any kind of built-in chat system, that honestly seems like a big failure.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine it not having something.
But even if not, it's not a deal breaker for me because I'm not going to want to talk to the pugs anyway.
No, but the Xbox version and the PS4 version are going to have chat.
Well, yeah.
And I can't imagine that they're going to strip it out for the PC version. I mean, would you rather
they would strip it out, but the Xbox and PlayStation is built natively into the system.
Okay, good point. Thank you.
Where they would have to create something for it when things like TeamSpeak, Discord, Mumble, Skype all exist that people use. It's not necessarily something that's needed for the PC.
All right. Have it there, but probably not have to, use it.
Yep.
So anyway, is there anything else?
I rate this game a buy it now.
I buy it now out of 10.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
honestly, it's been getting great scores from people. Reviews are really good. High, 8s out of 10s, 3.5 stars out of 5. Shit like that. But it's
8 out of 10. Battlefront got an 8 out of 10, and that was a steaming pile of shit.
no, it didn't.
IGN gave it an 8 out of 10.
Well, IGN got paid to give it an 8 out of 10, so
That is true.
yeah.
That is
Anyway.
100% true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Anyway, is there anything else you guys want to touch on, or
Nope.
want to wrap it up
I'm good.
for the evening? Yeah. All right.
All right, I have to
Well.
do something about that.
Yeah.
Do something about what?
Cue the porno music.
What?
It's an old WCW reference to Kevin Nash. Sorry. They used to come out to the NWO theme song, and he used to he used to say all the time, "Cue the porno music." The thing is, it actually sounded like porn music, so this does
right.
not.
Anyway,
Okay.
let's cue the porn music, gentlemen.
It's been queued 20
It's been cute.
going for the
I know.
last 30
I'm just
seconds.
I'm letting it roll, man. Letting it roll. All right. Anyway, Mike, where can the people find your sexy
Twitter,
sex-
there, Thilladrin, place.
Wow, that's caveman.
Because
speak.
I will never unhear this as porn
It's
music.
He's done.
You're welcome.
Mr. Dom.
You can find me down below at XIZTA with an underscore at the end, as well as twitch.tv /Zista XIZTA without the underscore. Just delete it.
I'm sorry. You also have a sexy mouth, and I didn't mean to leave you out. So, anyway, you can find me at No More on Twitter, in case it wasn't obvious enough. You can find all of us here on every Tuesday at 9:30-ish. For streams, Serious Gents. Check us out, Serious Gents on Twitch and WordPress and YouTube, where we upload the VODs of this stuff. And you can find, well, all of us at our other lovely podcast, ASOTV. We talk about every single TV show under the sun. We are starting to wind things down as a lot of shows are going on winter break, but we have VODs up of every TV show podcast.
God.
We just wrapped up Gotham, Walking Dead. A lot of
We
shows
do
are coming.
about 13 shows a week, so
Yeah, it's a lot. We're fucking busy.
Fortunately, there's like 8 of us.
Yeah, works out really nicely.
thank God.
So find us there if you want to check out some TV show podcasts, and come here for some goddamn video games. Later, kids.
Later.
Laters.
The music volume just suddenly changed.
Suddenly.
No,
I
like
wasn't listening for the mouse part. What was that about?